everybody. And it seems like we finally got sound. It might be that we didn't have to recap on a lot of things that we've been doing. We're sitting with the lion pretty much since the satellite went down. We had a satellite feed that dropped for some reason. It's something that occurred beyond our shores, beyond African shores. In fact, I think something to do with the satellite feed. It did come back for a while. We did have picture, but unfortunately we didn't have sound. So I might have said things that have gone to cyberspace. So we're sitting with the lion. They were sleeping for quite a while, and they were just starting to get active. And I had news of some leopard that might be here at Gowrie Dam, amongst other things. And I wanted to come and have a look. Now, the lion, they woke up, they started moving, they were yawning, and they were doing a lot of their usual stuff that lions do after sleeping and feeding for most of the day. And some of the females started making their way back towards Twin Dams. And as they got towards the drainage line, there was a young male giraffe that they saw, and they started stalking him. They actually made a play for him. They had made a full-on go for this young giraffe, but luckily they missed. I guess luckily for the giraffe, they missed, and they then settled down around the water, quite close to the dam. Some of them, or one or two of them, were drinking. But I've come up towards Buffelshoek Dam to have a look. Gowrie Dam, Djuma waterhole. Parker, go ahead. On the other side of the lodge, coming towards the dam, I'm just having a look. It was seen from Gallagher Camp, so it might still be in pretty thick shotting. Too relaxed. It was very interesting to see how those buffalo, or what am I saying? Those lions, sorry. How those lions managed to organize themselves from being so sleepy and so, what's the word? Inactive. We won't use the word lazy. I don't like using the word lazy with lion, because what just happened that we saw is very much how they can suddenly go from sleeping to chasing. And maybe they started the hunt a little bit too soon. The giraffe had already seen them by the time that they started running, so I think that kind of sealed the hunt's fate. You can't run after something that's already seen you. You've got to have the element of surprise. It's quite vital. Now, we've got a beautiful sunset happening, and we're just going to head up this way around the lodge, see if we can follow up. There are other vehicles. We've been very lucky. We spent all afternoon with the lion pretty much, and there are other vehicles that want to go to the lion now, and they are making their way there. So we're going to give other vehicles a chance to see the lion from other lodges, and we're going to see if we can find something else to fill up the end of our drive this evening. But being Sunset Drive, what would it be without looking at the sunset? We're going to be able to do as we get to the open area of quarantine. Before we finish our job, before we finish our broadcast and our sunset drive for the day, we've got some ground to cover and some things to see and some animals to find. if only that bush willow wasn't in the way. Okay, I'm going to just try and move. I think we might be far enough away that it won't react. First step is starting the car, and there's no reaction at all starting, so it allows me to just sneak forward very, very carefully. But the road does take us in a little bend that have this other cow and her calf in view. Calf seems to belong to the other cow because I was encouraged to move on by this Ellie here. Encouraged to go back to mom, and this is a young bull actually, just being trying to come in. There's a report of Ingwe coming past Gallagher Camp going down towards Gary Dam. I'm on that little shortcut within Dlov at the moment. Go ahead. Okay, I'm reading about 1 out of 5, I'm afraid. Okay, copy that, thanks. Line sounds like they're heading south, so they're going to pick a fight. Who was feeding on that very same bush, but it's familiar with our presence day or night. There's no way to use lights with Ellies, and that's enough. You can see this cow is starting to move, worrying about me getting too close. Or just go ahead. Yeah, affirmative. I was coming in from the western side to go and look for that Ingwe. That are so low that our human ears can't discern them. It's almost like ultrasound. The supersonic frequencies as opposed to the subsonic frequencies. Kathleen was sending a tweet, by the way. There's a Twitter that you can send things to, hashtag Safari Live, or there's email questions. I was just so engrossed in elephant, Kathleen. I know that there were Franklins. Law of heading west towards Gallagher, shortcut from Gallagher Camp. Wrong radio. Sorry. Text come in. Camp heading west towards Gallagher, shortcut. More Shambi. Marsha sent a question from Kentucky. No, well, Marsha's in Kentucky, so that's where the question came from. Hello, Marsha. Kentucky. Marsha's asking about the elephant tongue and their palates. Do they have a tongue similar to ours? Yes, they do. Somewhat. I don't know the full answer to that, but just judging by the way they feed, I'm guessing that it is somewhat similar in terms of the way it functions. We noticed now that one elephant cow, how she was taking that branch, it was a piece of buffalo thorn, and as she was to the tongue pulling it in, and then Marsha was also asking about the palate. Is it soft, or is it able to withstand the thorns? Very much well, I'm sure that the palate is sensitive, but it must be thick enough not to be damaged, not to be affected. There's another leopard, there are two leopards. A little bit right. Let's get the light. Who is that? Hiding his face behind the...
Is it a he or is it a she?
It looks like a he. But I'm looking at the other leopard who's just behind the bush for me. Two leopards. This is very unusual, everybody. Those of you who are joining us, there are only a number of combinations, a number of possibilities why we could have two leopards together. And at this stage of the game, I'm not too sure who is who in this little zoo, but hopefully we're going to find out pretty soon. That looks like Karuna. It's got a little blade of grass in the way.
Fully zoomed.
Fully zoomed. I think it's her. This is, I don't think we would know about these if it wasn't for Fabienne, who was watching from Gallagher Camp. She must have seen them from the deck. Then we're on the shortcut past Gallagher Camp, but on the eastern side of the Milwaukee. Our best approach probably from Mvubu Road. He's being very cautious. Lisa had sent a tweet to say the other one must be Q male, the quarantine male, the brother. Be interesting to see. Who do we follow? They start walking anyway. Who do we follow?
I think this is quarantine.
I think so too. Well, we got a really good look at the face there, folks, so send your tweets, questions, or answers rather. But much nicer if we get the viewers to actually ID these cats. He's heading down towards the water now, down towards just in front of the chalets of Uyatela Lodge. So I'm not too worried about where he's going. He's going down onto the sand. I want to see if we can just get a glimpse of this other cat while we're at it. So sometimes making a decision to leave the lions can be a good thing. Here he is. It is. Here's the other one. Who are you? Look this way, please. Pussycat, pussycat. Quarantine. Definitely quarantine, this one. So that's... still didn't look like Kunyuma, but I don't know, maybe... So Kuma, this is definitely quarantine. And we're going to just roll back a little bit. I think he's going to go and have a look to see, to smell what his brother... Look, that is Kunyuma. It must be Kunyuma. Let's see what his brother was doing. This is why I wanted to come and look for these cats, everyone, because I'd heard a report that there were two, and I didn't want to preempt it by saying that there were two leopard and then we didn't find them. So I just knew that there was a chance that we might find them, and it's really, really wonderful that we have been able to. And just the fact that we haven't seen the brothers together. I still want confirmation from one of our viewers that the first one was actually Kunyuma. He's now sniffing where the other leopard was, so he's sniffing where the other cat was sleeping. Not shadow the leopard, just shadows of the tree on the leopard. Where are you going to go, little boy? You're going to go follow that one. I'm going to follow you too, if I can. Still got one leopard in sight. I'm not too sure where the other one is yet. They might both be here. Okay, just come in. Folks, we're going to be closing off the video feed right now because we're coming to the end of the time of our drive. So I'm going to say goodbye from me, that's Mark. Andrew's been on camera and Tara has been in final control. So from all of us here at Wild Earth, good night. We're going to close off, but we will reopen shortly and just keep up with the cats, see if we can see them together. But for purposes of timing, we're going to say good night for now. And stay tuned, we might come back again. And they are not on drive, or they are on drive. Okay, I didn't copy that. Please repeat that by the radio going. Just going to have a look, but he is, as you can see, we are completely blocked here with vegetation and big termite mound and a big jackalberry. A moth just landed on his nose. He is lying down. Texan, come in.